Hey, this is Hari from SyncEzy, and I wanted to talk about our Autodesk to SharePoint integration that's been newly released. We'll go through the integration, some demo, and just give you an overview. So let's jump into it. To start with, the Autodesk SharePoint integration basically connects all of the Autodesk Construction Cloud products, including BIM 360, PlanGrid, any of the construction products, BIM Collaborate, any of the construction products that has the Autodesk Docs unifying layer, we sync the Autodesk Docs unifying layer out into SharePoint and Office 365. So even though that's why it's called the Autodesk, even though primarily you might be using it in Build, you might be using it in different apps, but anywhere where you use the docs, we can now sync it back into SharePoint and back. So it's a full two-way integration that syncs data in both directions. We have a generous free plan. This is live already, so you can connect now. You can connect up to 5 projects and 2 GB of data without any payment, no credit card required. It's a very simple 15-minute setup, and we'll go through the setup in this video so you'll know how to do the setup yourself. We are a known commodity in the AEC space. We've got hundreds of construction customers, everybody from Tesla down to LG and all of the North American large contractors. We look forward to welcoming more here. In terms of security of your data, we are a SOC 2 Type 2 certified company. We try to store as little of the data on our platform as possible. Basically making sure that we run the integration entirely based on IDs. We offer 24/5 chat, email, and phone support. So if you have any concerns, you can always reach out to us. And we also have another CASA ADA certification for security of data. Moving forward, how does it actually work? It basically takes, this is on the left-hand side is Autodesk Construction Cloud. It basically takes all of the Autodesk Construction Cloud data and syncs that into SharePoint and Windows Explorer. What tools do we connect? We currently connect the Files tool in the Build product and the Photos tool. Again, these are both common across all of the document products, so we currently connect those. The integration offers an automatic sync to SharePoint or OneDrive. You can connect each project to a separate company or keep it to the same company. Again, you can share data with users that are on SharePoint, essentially meaning that your technical team or the field team can use data in AACC, and then your office-based team can continue to use data in SharePoint. We've also got the ability to have, these are all again SharePoint related features, but we will replicate the exact folder structure between both systems so that you have the same folder structure in Autodesk and the same folder structure in SharePoint. You can obviously, once the data is in SharePoint, you can sync it to multiple local computers. You can have folder level sharing and permissions. The permissions can be managed independently in both systems. You've got the entire Office 365 functionality once the data is available in SharePoint. And that's what we do. And this obviously also helps architects and other kinds of construction companies in the design space that primarily use Macs. You can now have the same access via OneDrive. So let's jump in and show you how this works and set this up. So here's the Autodesk integration. You basically come in and create an account on SyncEzy.com. And when you create an account, you can either search for or scroll through to find the Autodesk to SharePoint integration. As you can see, integrations is all we do. We've got hundreds of integrations, not quite 100, sorry. We've got a lot of integrations here, not quite 100. And the difference is that we specialize in deep integrations. We don't just do webhook management. We specialize in very deep integrations. Here is the integration. It starts off in terms of pricing for 10 million construction volume at $3,000. But today we'll look at our basic free plan, which allows up to 5 projects and 2 GB of data. Again, pricing subject to change all the time, so please always look at the latest data from here. And if we look at the Autodesk SharePoint free plan and we add this to the integration, this is what it looks like. So if I jump into, So if I jump into my Autodesk SharePoint free plan, this is what it looks like. Currently the app is not connected, so I'm going to go connect the application. In this case, that means logging into Autodesk, and it will ask you for authorization. So once you allow the authorization, basically the our integration gets access to your data within the project. You do the same thing on the SharePoint end. Once we connect, we authenticate, and once those authentications are complete, we hide the connect and disconnect buttons so that nobody accidentally clicks on them. So we hide these buttons so that they are well and truly hidden safely. The next thing you do is, once you've authenticated Autodesk in SharePoint, we come in and configure the integration. So we say, hey, I want to add a project to the sync. So we go in and we can say, okay, on this company, I have this particular project. Let's say, for example, we have a sample project that came default, Seaport Civic Center, and these are the two tools that we want to sync, documents and photos. We're always looking to add more tools in the future. So once that is done, I'm just going to select a site. In this case, we'll select this site. We'll select the documents location, and I'm going to select the Seaport Civic Center. Just to be clear, the Seaport Civic Center location in the documents, it's completely, it's not empty. So we'll go ahead and delete all of this so that it's completely empty. So that Seaport Civic Center is completely empty. We'll also go ahead and do the same for the uh, North Sydney Primary School. So perfect, both of those are fully empty. Then come back into SyncEzy, click on this, and we can see it's completely empty now. Select this location and add a project. So that's how simple it is to add a project. If you have hundreds of projects, you can give us support team a list of those projects and a list of those locations, and we can add them for you. We're also working on some automatic sync options in the background. So we'll just go ahead and add a couple of projects. It takes another 5 seconds to add. Let's just add the North Sydney Primary School. Just going to select this, and the same location on the other side. We allow you to select a custom document library as well. So in case in SharePoint, if you use a custom document library, we support those. And here we have the parent path. Now this parent path, once selected, should not be changed. So this parent path is the foundation of the sync, and that should not be changed once it's set up. So we have now added the project, and that is now added to the sync. You can see those two projects have been added here, and anything that we do at this point in Autodesk will get synced to SharePoint. Anything we do in SharePoint will get synced back into Autodesk. Here is an example of how that looks in real time. So if I go into my Seaport Civic Center project, you'll see that all of the data has already synced between the two. You can see there's a row of green ticks, which means the data has synced. We can also go ahead and look through this in a bit more detail. So if I want to go into a certain folder, I can go in, and there's not a lot of data in this. This is a sample folder, but basically the data is now, whatever data was there is now available in both places. You can see in the last, it's less than a GB, so that's why there's no data showing up here. But basically, you've got Autodesk, that those two projects connected to SharePoint. As I was saying, we sync additions of files, renames, deletes, edits, any normal standard operations that you would perform in one end, they will all be synced to both ends. That's how the integration works. And we've got a file manager that allows you to look at the data in real time. So here, when I'm pulling this up, I can click on Autodesk, and it opens up the project in Autodesk, shows me where that project is and what the file folder structure looks like. And I can go the same and look at the same thing in SharePoint. Now remember, in SharePoint, we deleted this at the time when we were setting up this project. You can see now the data is already coming through in here. Once it creates all the folders, it then goes back and does all the files. So there's a bit of a process once it's done that. And once you have the folder structure and the files created, the sync will automatically switch to a full two-way sync. So at that point, you can add data inside here. You can add data in SharePoint. That will go back to Autodesk, and any data that's added in Autodesk or deleted from Autodesk can be deleted in both places. So that's an overview of the sync. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to us. Again, we offer a 24/5 support desk. You can reach out to us on any of our phone lines, live chat, or just book a meeting. And here we are.